Welcome back to the channel, and we're going to play another World Cup alt course, and this one is Rich's Camusaig. I'm not going to say that right. I'm not Scottish, nor will I pretend to be. We're going to play pin 2, and let's go, because it's a links, let's go high winds, because they should all be able to cope with that. And we'll go northeast. So, I think this is the most recent of the alts that's come out, so we can give this one a go. As mentioned on the previous video, you may not have seen this, but just a disclaimer that I'm going to be away from the start of July. Work is incredibly busy. I am not going to play all the alt courses at this point because we've got a bunch of main field courses to play. So I will try to get through where I can do. But yeah. Oh, that's a lot of gables and clubhouses. Although that is just the building just mashed together a bit. Just looks bad. It looks worse from the sky than it actually is. Okay, I can see we have some. The cart path is a choice I would not have made for this type of course. I think it stands out. Like, you look at, I don't know, Bandon, any sort of Highlands Links course, they just don't do this. And I dare say that will be something we notice as we go around. Like, you might have a path, but it won't be concrete style. So we have the new pot bunker tool. I'd be interested to know at what stage you changed your mind on the bunkers and what they were before, because that's obviously a new thing. Low-lying water bodies interesting. What is? Oh, right, we're playing from this direction. Okay. And then we have some sandy waste areas as well. Okay, I have some thoughts. We have a lot of walls marking off different areas. I dare say they come into play. Just flying around and seeing what we have. We have a little bridge over a sandy waste area. We have another wall. Yeah, I will certainly have some thoughts on this hole by the time we get there. And then we have some pined areas. So we're going to work our way, mostly coastal, the dunes style stuff, but a little bit of trees to break that up. Cool. Let's give this a play. So nice open sightline off the first. Right. With your pot bunkers. So the revetted walls tend to work really nicely. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say you change these later on, which we kind of know from the release time. But you can see this in terms of the sod wall should be up against the line to the green, right? Because that's where it's protecting. Whereas actually, if we fall in here, then our worst lies if we're here and we're trying to go that way. Additionally, you can kind of tell by the bigger bunkers, which you've got a lot of very big pot bunkers. You wouldn't have those because they're very expensive to maintain. You can have the odd bigger pot bunker, but they still tend to be by the green. And the funkier shapes, you don't tend to see as much. They're simpler shapes because of the involvement that goes into doing the revetting. So yeah. So this all speaks to we change this later on, which is fine, but you've just got to understand that you've got to make some changes other than just updating the shapes of the bunkers. As is, I think I can just pretty much hit down and avoid most of the bunkers. So yeah, again, with your pot bunkers, you want to have your high side is protecting the green, right? So same thing here, same thing here, same thing here. This one's great. So if you're looking to determine which ones are good, this is what they should be doing. So the high side towards the green. And yeah, I mean, that will be a critique throughout, I think, because I saw a couple on the flyover that were doing it, and that's the main thing to bear in mind. That said, so we're not going to mention that again, but other than that, it's a nice first hole. I think it's a good pin that I can access. Yeah, I like the slightly bigger green with some bolder slopes. Like that fits. Terrible, but pulled it and overread it. But yeah, like as we were saying with the course design one, like the feedback for my feedback for Rich for a long time has been editing, and it's the same again. Like the moment we changed these to pot bunkers, you're gonna then look at them afresh and go, does this work for every single one of them? It's like this. If you were doing so, I mean, as many of you may know, I was a member at a links course for a number of years. I've played a bunch of them. Like we might see one bunker on this and it'll be very famous on the course, like Hell Bunker or the Cardinal Bunker at Prestwick, like the really big pot bunkers. You don't tend to see this other than as one main feature. Like this one, just I hate to say, just doesn't make sense. And like you got to have that editing. Ooh, very spicy green. I didn't actually clock what the green speeds are, so I suspect that mitigates somewhat. Oh, I'm so bad with elevation change. And wind. I mean, probably this. It didn't matter what I hit with that. It's probably a bit short anyway. That's not disastrous. Oh, glad that one did just fall. Okay, long par 3, but lots of ways in which to access it. And the problem is, I say I'm only going to mention this once. The problem is they're really in your face on every single hole, and they're not done right. So like you would be lowering this area in front of the bunker so that we can see it more, and we haven't done that. It's just like these two look good, like really good. I don't think you need all three down here, because other than that, like this is a really nice sight line, and it just needed simplicity, really. The lighting really helps. I think the green's interesting. I personally wouldn't have done this slope at all, because I think if you're asking people to play down here or down here, one of the risks you want to avoid is them rolling off here and then down to there. And I think equally you can allow people to go straight at this pin if they want to, but maybe not have them just hit here and then roll miles off. Hey, Mitch. And there is a swing. Well, let's see what happens. So we've rolled down one slope, down the other slope. Like, I just don't believe that's how you would have wanted this to play. Don't get me wrong, that was a bad swing, but if I hadn't hit this part of the green, I am rolling off. Whereas for a 230 odd yard par 3, you want to be building in some forgiveness. That town looks lovely. And that's a great reveal as well. I really like that. Okay. So now we've seen some of the waste bunkers. I definitely prefer some of these to the bigger pot bunkers. Can definitely say at this point I'd have lost the cart path completely. It looks like it's been done with shapes as well, or like a really thin spline. Either way, it's sadly it's just detracting from the course as well. One thing you can do here as well, like make all of this fairway. Just we don't need to pinch this side. If your big bunker is this side, you don't need to randomly pinch the fairway. Make it nice and wide. Like people could use that as a layup. It's 434 yards. If anyone wants to play 200 yards off the tee, give them wider berth to do so. Because where you do give width, it's in really odd places. Because I kind of feel like, well, I could hit 3-wood. I can't hit less than 3-wood because it's actually more pinched. might as well hit driver, and it forces me into taking on a challenge that it kind of almost stops me playing strategically because I don't have the width to do so where I'd want to lay up. And yeah, I don't mind light rough. Yeah, I think one or the other, or blend them. Like, I'm trying not to keep saying about the pot bunkers, but the whole course to me feels like it was a late decision to add them when the tool came in, and I understand that because it does make sense. But equally, we had to adapt more than we did. Turn. Oh, it tried. It was a good effort. I like the little body of water to break up some of the space. I think that works nicely. I also appreciate, I appreciate that you put no bunkers around the screen. It was a wise decision. I probably would have played with this sculpting a little bit more so that shots that are a little bit long, we're not dumping them into this. So, yeah, I think for all the good sculpting you've done short of the green here, behind the green has been overlooked. Just a bit. Right. Up here. And it's not a great swing. Needs to get lucky. Oh, it does. Friendly bounce. Okay, and we can see our aiming marker, all well and good. I still think, yeah, the way in which this, I'm cool with this being blind. The way in which it's blind is a little bit odd in the sense that we can't see it because of the entire fairway. Right? The bit that's making it blind is all of this rather than it being sunken down behind this really cool landform. I would want to see, if I were choosing to bounce over this, I would be wanting to see this area to land it in, even if I can't see the green and where it ends up, if that makes sense. Like, I'd be lowering. The thing that's making it blind is this area of fairway, not this area. This is the really cool stuff. And you can see from the overhead, like, where you've done the really good detailed sculpting and made it rumpled versus the really flat part where we are currently. I would try to make a bit more of this area. But I still think how you're doing it, how you're making it blind, I would be editing so that we can see kind of where the ball's rolling. Think about it as well. You'd want to know roughly where it landed so you could see where you're going to look for it. Well, that said, I think it's a really fun shot. I love this sculpting. Okay, we're going to go with an 8 iron and hope that the wind carries it. Go on. Too fun not to try and bounce it on, right? There we go. Yeah, love that. I actually don't think the green needed this front right pocket I've ended in. You've got like 1, 2, 3 sections already, like, and this one you've got this big dip in front. Like, we don't need to add this as well. Especially on a blind shot. And blind shot generally just funnel everything. Oh, it's par 5 though. Yeah. Yeah. I guess I will need to play that one again in wind from the other direction to see that as a par 5. That felt to me like a long par 4 all day long. Not that it ultimately matters, really. Okay. I'm going to hit here. Just about get away with it. It's probably this. I'm just so bad with wind. Oh, we fluked it. I like the little clumps of trees. I think those really make a positive difference as well. Oh, black parts. Happy days. Suddenly we have two. I think I would have been careful with this because we are seeing, I think either, I don't know. I like seeing this little bit of coastline. It does just, on that camera, it grabbed my eye as to we're seeing bits of the sculpting that maybe aren't done as neatly as they could be, and trees on sharp slopes. It's showing some things you'd rather we didn't see. Yeah. Same comments about the big pock bunkers. Let's go hit down the middle, hopefully. Is this 9? Oh no, we're 7 and we're back to the clubhouse. I think I just need a choke. Ah, I was correct. Well. Yeah, broad slopes on this screen work well. Funnels down. Again, I would probably have just, one of the things I was checking from the sideline was like why I couldn't see much of the green and whether I'd have wanted, I think just lowering a little bit so you can see the good sculpting in front of the green would be beneficial. It's an enjoyable 7 holes so far. I like that you have gone tricky green, kind of funnels, kind of doesn't. You can end up in some tough areas. This is fun. We're going to play a game on the back nine of I'm just going to pause and let you try to work out which bunker shouldn't be there, or which one should you have redone. Because I suspect there'll be one on most of the holes, and I won't say. Although I'll tell you if there isn't one. One of them on that one was absolutely good. Right, 13. It is. And it's like, I mean, I don't tend to comment as much on good looking holes because for me, anyway, like, we can all build good looking holes rooting into the sun. And, like, yes, it definitely is. And it looks lovely and it's well put out. The thing I'm complimenting on this hole is that it plays well and that it's interesting and it's like restrained around the green. There's no bunkers. Like, those are the things that are harder to get right. So, like, for me, the praise there is worth far more than you made this look pretty by planting it, because frankly, I don't think that takes as much skill. Now, very high end planting where it's a totally immersive environment, that's a different matter. But we can all make a hole look good. And that's not to say that one didn't look good. Okay, we can do a bunker game again. Sculpting in front of this green is awesome. Like, oh yeah, totally. Love this. And like this sort of stuff, I would love to see going. Like, imagine this was a slightly longer par 4 green. Would be amazing. Right. 15 down 19, but I can't. Nah. I kind of feel like the wind's going to take a little bit off it. There's a bit of a bowl there. Not terrible. Oh, 1 second, we have a small child. Ah, missed our part. But we had a cuddle from a small child, so that's all good. One thing on the planting I would add is I don't think you need the amount of bushes you've got. I think you've seen, so like if you look at all of these, typically on a links course, you would, when you see gorst areas, they are very dense, but they're not everywhere. So like on this part between holes, I would typically be expecting just some grass, like wispy stuff, but not the bushes. You wouldn't really see this, certainly not into a pot bunker either. But I think you've kind of overplanted, I would say, and it's partly just choosing the areas in which you would plant. Right. One other thing we always have to be wary of if we're doing kind of open courses with no trees is, are we allowing people to play other fairways? Now for this one, yes, it's a long carry, so we have kind of, I think you have seen it, but equally, because it's so pinched on the other one, I'm going to play down here. No our whistle. And gone. And that gives me a wedge shot in. I've got a backstop. If I play out this side and play to the corner of the dog leg, I get nothing. So like, just be very careful with holder signs when we're doing dog legs, particularly on these sorts of links courses. Oh, I almost lost that one. It was a bad shot. Come back. Oh, I thought it would do a bit more than that. And then we've missed the putt. Disappointing. The poor bogey. Yeah, this isn't great. And you can tell that that's there because I don't know whether we've gone up against the plot edge too much, but like the way this all suddenly disappears just feels unnatural, and the way it's also higher up here and then suddenly vanishes. Yeah, I don't know what caused this decision. Right, we are just going to play into that lower area, I think. Oh no, we're not. We're going to play this side instead. The other thing I would add, just in terms of consistency, like I know we talk about scaling a bunch, but again, we've gone to a 60-yard wide fairway from a super narrow pinched fairway. We've done that a couple of times, like the punch bowl one, for example, was also really wide. We're going to do our bunker thing again. And just like your consistency matters because we want to be fit. Like you can vary, but within some set parameters. Oh, wind, please hit it. That'll do. And you've also got some grass coming into your rough there, like little things as well. On 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. That's okay. Now I wonder whether if this plays in the exact opposite direction to the other punch ball, then that's a really savvy move because wind-wise, those are always going to marry up nicely. Okay, so we're now at... Where are we in relation to the previous green? Oh, cool. Oh, so we're just turning the corner. Fine, makes sense. This looks really nice. We can do a bunker thing. So, judging for shapes, judging for where the high points are, judging for size of the pot bunkers. Like, which one did you not need? This looks lovely though. I think that's a good shot. It just landed on the fairway and has run through a little. I also really liked that. I'll pan around and see it. So if you look at the grasses back here, they could really use some weathering, like everything is very green. And then you look behind the green, we have this lovely patch of really well weathered grass, and it just makes a really big difference in terms of contrast. Like looking at it from here, I think like if you look at that in comparison to all of the other stuff, that pops. The rest of it doesn't really. Like just making sure we've done some spots of weathering would make a big difference. Okay, so now we go and see the town for a little bit more. Yeah, so you can see here with the weathering, like some of that grass in front of the tee would be really nice if that were a little bit dried out. Okay, so we have out of bounds over the wall. I really want you to question why this wall is here. Right. So typically a wall would be a boundary point. I know North Berwick has that wall. You'll also know that it's not OB necessarily over it. I also want you to do your usual bunker question. So I think there's a lot of potential with this hole. It's got some really cool. It's just a question of does it fit? Does it make sense? Secondly, do we need to be blind hitting into out of bounds? It's par 5, so we can be, and links golf does break some rules. Just, yeah. I think the theme of the last couple of playthroughs has very much been editing. There's a lot of nice stuff on this hole. I like the idea. It's bold. It's doing some cool things. The area back there is awesome and really well done. So much good. We just also have to question why we're making the decisions that we're making sometimes. Just about escape with a birdie. And we finished with a bunch of par 4s, which is nice. Very, it was very links. So whether it be Littleston, Deal, a couple of others. Cool. Which one of these bunkers? Could be multiple. Right, drivable par 4. I like this. So this is an area I'm cool with it being more heavily planted. It makes sense. It's like a hillside, so it's not low lying. It wouldn't be cut down as rough. So works. It is making me think about whether I go for it. Oh, I've just seen there's a bunker behind the green as well. Let's add that to our list as to whether we consider that or not. I think I am just going to. What am I going to do? I'm going to play driver. I'm just going to try and pop it slightly right of that one. And we'll see what happens. I am okay with that. Now I think I can just play a little pitch shot and run it down. It should feed down. I was hoping that would end up closer. Still, worked out quite nicely. Hey, which of these bunkers? I didn't mention I like the weathering on the green as well. I will add though that if you look at the weathering where you've done it here, it's quite heavy-handed. Like we've done some very harsh weathering around here, and then there's the rest of it's all green. Like you want to mix it up a little bit more and also do it in more spots. Let's pop that. Oh, that's worked out very nicely. Morning. Yeah, we're going well. We are finishing up this one. Let's see, that should work. And then it's getting ready for work. Oh, grab. That has been played about as well as I can do. Love that. Now I've just remembered whereabouts on the plot we are. So we're now going into the trees. 15 through 18 seems an odd time to go into the trees, like given that the coastal stuff is your main bit. So this is sort of mirroring an idea of a hole at Carnoustie, which is the Hogan's Alley, so 5th, I want to say. Where is it Carnoustie? I think it's Carnoustie. Where you've got this area between a wall and out of bounds, and then a tight natural area. The thing is, that was a boundary wall. It was a straight hole. So therefore, the OB all made sense. This one, both the hole and the wall are doglegging, and that immediately makes less sense. So this all feels like it's going to be hard to explain, but this doesn't really work because you've chosen to put the bunkers here, you've chosen to put the fairway here, the walls here, but it's not acting as a boundary, it's acting as a man-made feature because it suddenly cuts back in. Like, it's really hard to explain. And you can't see it, which doesn't necessarily help us either. And we're going to go out of bounds after all that happens. Why am I suddenly hitting it way left? Oh well, got away with it second time. And then this sightline's really good. And like, good view back to the clubhouse, like the trees on the left. It's just that there's a lot I like about the hole, but some of those early decisions, like you just have to. I know we've had this chat before. You have to question why you're making those choices. Come back, come back, come back, come back, come back, come back. I appreciate the question. It's not, yeah. Oh, it was par 4. Not really the time to go through that one, but catch me another time and I'll look at it just with playthroughs. So then we've done the wall again, and we've done the doglegging wall again, and it's a really man-made hazard that is not blocking to anything. So like this could be the boundary for the property, but if so, why is it doglegging perfectly around a golf hole? Like this, and you've also literally just done this. So like this is the sort of feature like walls is out of bounds. You don't want to do very much on a course. I'm cool with you doing it twice. But we've now had it 3 times within 5 holes, I think, and twice where we're doing the doglegging. No, all 3 where we're doglegging because the par 5 also did that, and we've done the mound on the inside that pushes you close to this one. So 16 and 17 are identical, except one of them is blind. Like, yeah. And then when we oh, Rich, this is you at your worst, in that we've gone here, we've hit this side, and then we're stuck behind trees, and then there's pot bunkers, and there's just all of this stuff going on that didn't need to be here. And I just really want you to start seeing this. Like, you've got to see that that's not okay. It's a shame because we have had a course where, for the most part, it's been really strong. And there's a lot of good stuff. And it is just a couple of the big decisions that you make and you don't question enough. So, like the pot bunkers, the cart path, that the dog legging up against a wall out of bounds, that hole and those trees, and like you do so much good work. But we've all, and like the message to a lot of the alt guys is just you've got to understand the importance of those decisions, and like it is. So, like, do we want to be blind here? Like, we've got to question that. So, I think you do. Like, we have to query why we're doing things. We have to edit, and I know you will do those things, and you will be editing, but you need to do it more. And like, I understand that the very best guys will still edit holes and shots 7, 8, 9 times sometimes. Right. I feel like that's ended on a bad note, but 17 was the worst hole in the course by a considerable distance, unfortunately. And it just leaves a sour taste. Because I enjoyed lots of that. That's really fun. Like the punch bowl green that you had on the front of the sculpting in front of that R3 we see in the picture, like visually, lots of it looks really good. Lots of it is really, really fun to play. It's just some of those baffling decisions where they stick out quite significantly. And I think it's one of those where once you get far enough down a course, you've kind of grown used to them. And so it's harder to question them. And you've got to keep taking yourself away from your work and then looking back at it and trying to do so with fresh eyes in order to do that. That said, I had a lot of fun. I really enjoy the greens for the most part. I think those have gotten considerably better. I think that overall, like, scaling is not such an issue. There are a couple of times where it comes up, but that has been, I think that you're doing much better than you used to. There are some really interesting holes and shots out there that are a lot of fun. I liked how you use blindness for the most part. Sometimes it's just about how you use blindness, but generally pretty good. But yeah, it's just those big decisions, and like I hope that that explains why with some of them, and like the things that. But more importantly, less than explaining those bad decisions, I hope it explains the thought process so that when you make different bad decisions or decisions that you might question, you can go back and go, actually, that's what I need to be looking at, and I really need to be considering this. Yeah, hopefully that helps. It's a fun round. Like, give it a play, and we will be back when we can. As mentioned, I won't be playing